What's up, chat? What's up, chat? We are here. Have no fear. One sec. Forgot my phone. Be right back. Okay. It's almost time.
For the taking here for Heretics. And not as much of a threat here, but still Profek chance to have a say. Needs some heroics to find this though.
Here we go. Come on, Woo. Rooting for you. Even the observers are rooting for you.
Suppressing. One suppressed.
Come on.
I want to see Knives Out baiting for Woot right now.
Yeah, play him in. Play him in. Where's that team cam?
Swap him a gun. So he's not got the vandal. And then just send him.
Send the hunt, yeah.
Maybe we are desperate not to give away.
Yeah,
Oh, there we go, there we go.
yeah. Here we go. Come on, Woo.
Go on.
Two shots. That's all you got to land. Oh, come on now. Back to back.
Yes!
Now we're cooking. Heretics right out the gate, setting the tempo.
Right, let's go for the first now.
Oh, who's
Right, who's
for it
next?
now? Yeah,
Who's
who's next? Who's caller?
Mini Boo next.
Finny Boo next.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right.
What a
Boom. Let's go, free advice girl. Two, 1, 0. Let's go, baby. Woo, new intro.
Welcome to Free Advice Guy. I'm Luke Halter, Free Advice Guy. We're here at the Fairy Tale Finds Market out at the Peoria Sports Complex, hoping to have conversations and maybe change people's lives.
My favorite part.
Unlike Mill Avenue, we didn't walk up and down the street. We had a booth. This event is like a traveling Disney World without the rides. Costumes, treats, and goods being sold all over. I think we were the only ones not selling anything, which I'm sure was a little bit of a surprise for people walking by. But we got all set up, and after a little shenanigans, the floodgates were open and people poured in from all over the state. Over the course of 6 hours, we talked to a ton of people. They had great questions. Questions that you've probably asked yourself at some point. And if you've never really thought about finances, this first question is for you.
All right, so what financial advice would you give to someone who doesn't really know what financial advice they need?
This was the
Yeah, no,
first
this is,
conversation of the
a
day.
great question, and it's not the most exciting answer in the world, but literally every person walking up and down here could do this one thing and change their life, and it's a budget. Literally, most of the people walking around, the people that you know, don't have a budget. I know that sounds so boring. You want me to write down all my expenses and my income and like figure out the difference? Yes, absolutely. If you do that, one, it'll open your eyes to how you're spending money. You know exactly how much money is coming in, but even more importantly, how much money is going out. You'll go through the lists and you're like, wow, I didn't realize I was spending $200 on Pokemon cards, right? Like whatever it happens to be, right? Like I didn't realize it. And it's not even bad that you were spending the money. Say you didn't realize it. You're just bleeding it. And without a budget, you're just guessing. When you have a budget, you understand where every dollar is coming in.
Goes up
This is
and
how much
down
I
on
make.
this one.
This is how much I'm spending. And then what it really tells you is you have either a surplus, more extra money at the end of every month, or a deficit, meaning you owe money and you're actually going into the negative, which you don't want. So it's eye-opening immediately. You can start taking actions and steps to fix that immediately. And then on the plus side, even if you have a surplus and extra money, you can't be as efficient with it and make your money grow and become wealthy unless you know exactly how much extra money there is. If that extra money is there and we know it, we can begin planning for it, saving and investing towards other financial goals. And then you can get into investing and all that stuff later. But number one, again, for every person walking here, budget. Detailed budget.
That budget is everything we make and everything we spend?
Yes. And this will take you months to figure it out, because if I sat down right now and just said, hey, do your budget, you go, cool. Rent, car, gas, right? All these things that are obvious. You just hit them. You probably write down 15 things. Nice. And then if you're anything like me, like last month was insurance and I pay it every 6 months. Well, if it wasn't a part of my budget, now all of a sudden I'm looking at $1,200. Like, I wasn't expecting this.
So true.
Now just $1,200
Unexpected
in my
costs,
card.
you got to factor them
But
in.
I haven't factored into my budget. So I know every month that that portion is already taken care of and factored into my finances. So that's why it can take you months and months, because all of a sudden this random bill, you're like, oh yeah, my car insurance or my whatever just hit. I need to factor that in throughout my whole year. So it just takes more than one sitting down to finish your budget.
All right, sweet. And do you have any follow-up?
Let's see. What advice do you have for people who are trying to move out and like trying to make their own way?
Okay, your generation is different than my generation, is different than my parents' generation, grandparents' generation. Things are much harder for you than they were even for me. I rented an apartment in Scottsdale for like $720.
That was fun.
Not that long ago, right? You're not doing that anymore. So I hate to say this, but you have to, this is not fun to hear, and I apologize, but it's sacrifice. You should try and, I say this jokingly, but also serious, you should try and live with like 8 friends, or stay at home longer, or just roommates. Like, get your expenses as low as possible for as long as possible. If you have to move out and I have to get out of here, cool. Can you find 6 friends where you guys can kind of split a house? Are you willing to share a room? Like, there's certain things that we're not generally willing to do because we haven't had to our whole lives. But if you really want to make a huge life change and not have it affect you negatively financially, or have it affect you in a positive way, get those expenses as low as possible. We don't really realize that 50 extra bucks here, 100 extra bucks there, and all of a sudden we're like, wow, we're spending like $500-600 a month that we don't need to be spending. So get your expenses low as possible for everything, right? Get that line
Everything, baby.
and then try to move out. Okay. Moving out on your own is going to be, you can do it, but unless you have like a great job, you're going to go broke doing it. And that's not really worth the life experience to go broke. Put yourself in a bad spot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you come to events like this often?
This is the first time.
Okay.
I do like a lot of, I do some craft fairs.
These guys were so nice. These guys were so nice.
Okay, so this is my first one doing something like this. So I've been to like FanFest Comic-Con. We may go again. But the reason I bring it up is if there are people who go to these things kind of regularly, how are you paying for it? Is it going on a credit card?
Yo, what's up,
did you
Archangel?
decide a week ago, 2 weeks
Doing
ago.
the
"Hey,
world
that looks
premiere,
cool,
baby."
I'm gonna buy tickets. So as opposed to that, you could either create a slush fund or something specific for events like this, where every month you put aside $100. That way, you know, when an event like this comes up, you already have a slush fund ready to pay for the tickets.
Hey, all right.
And
how long you in Illinois?
you want something in here? Cool. You want something over there? Cool. You already have the cash for it. So when you walk up, it's almost like you could just make it rain wherever you're going because you've already saved this money up. It doesn't hurt to spend it. I mean, it kind of does because you're like, oh, I saved all this money and now I don't want to see it go. But you're not putting yourself in a bad financial situation because you saved up and have the money as opposed to spending it and now paying it back. Does that make sense? So if you can, create a slush fund for yourself for fun. That way you know every month you could spend X amount of dollars on whatever and not feel any guilt about it and not set
Do you
yourself
think
back
your
for any
parents would
other
like this
financial
video,
goals.
Archangel?
All right, I hijacked the conversation. I apologize.
No, that's perfect. That actually is, that's solid advice right now.
I appreciate it.
Gonna be doing that one for surgeon.
Awesome, I love it.
All right.
How did you get your knowledge? Like, where did you?
Great question. I work for an amazing company called Vanguard. I did get a degree in finance, business finance, which was great. But I learned all my actual practical knowledge through Vanguard. I worked there for 13 years. I did get a certified financial planner designation, which is considered, I believe, the highest designation in the industry. It means I'm a fiduciary. If you remember nothing else, if you're working with a financial advisor, they need to be a fiduciary. That means they have to do what's in your best interest. If they're a financial advisor and they're not a fiduciary, they do not have to put your interests first. So anyway, I got all my knowledge from Vanguard, from the CFP.
I go home Monday, came in on Sunday.
And my own
Nice,
life
man.
mistakes.
Yo, you got a new PC?
Sweet.
Yeah,
As
For
college
sure.
students, that helps a ton.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for stopping and talking. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys.
These two were amazing. This is exactly the kind of person I've been hoping to reach with this mission. Young people just starting out in their financial journey. This next gentleman fit that criteria too. He wasn't even in the workforce yet.
Free Advice Guy is completely crowdfunded. If you believe in the mission and you want to help millions of people achieve financial literacy, click the Patreon link below and become a community member. Now let's get into the video. Thanks for sitting down and having a conversation with us. You asked a question a second ago. Ask that question one more time.
So I was wondering, me being in high school, I have filled out applications and I'm waiting
I
for
love
callbacks.
this one. Everything
But
is
they
new.
say
What
that they're gonna call me
graphics card
back,
did you get?
but
What
I
process
haven't
did
got
you
a
get?
call
Give me the
back yet.
details, man.
And
Yo, what's
I
up,
also
Smith?
need help with saving money.
Welcome.
So what advice could you give me?
All right, so let's start with the employment one first. So I have two pieces of advice here, and they're not going to work with everybody. Number one, walk in, right? If you applied at Sonic and they're not answering you or they haven't gotten back to you, go in when you think a manager's working and say, hey, can I speak with a manager? And they might be like, why? Like, you know, the people there are like, why do you want to talk to my manager or whatever? That's nothing bad. And they come out and be like, hey, I just want to introduce myself. I applied here a week ago, 2 weeks ago, and I wanted to introduce myself in case you had any more questions that I could help you out with to get to know me or whatever. And they might go, I wasn't expecting that. That shows some initiative. You're here. You actually care about this job because you're here. Secondarily, a softer follow-up would be to email them or call them like, hey, I filled out my application 2 weeks ago. I'm really excited about the opportunity. 1 week ago, 3 days ago, whatever it is. I'm really excited about the opportunity. I was wondering if you had any updates or was there any questions you had about me that I could answer for you, right? So it shows, number one, the initiative. Like, you care about this job, so you're gonna reach out and see like, hey, what can you do to increase your chances? Number two, you're just doing something that most people don't do. They fill out an
You talking about the
application.
guy on the left?
You're really showing
He's a
you
young
care,
kid.
man. That's that means something. Ah, poor guy. All right, and then your second question was, how do you save money?
That kid.
All right, I'm gonna give you the most important answer of your life, but it's gonna sound like the most boring answer of your life.
All right.
But literally every person you see walking right here could benefit from this. Do a budget. When I say a budget, I mean down, especially at the beginning, do a budget down to the penny. Figure out all of your income, all of your expenses. Figure out, are you in a surplus, meaning you have extra money every week or every month?
He was a nice kid.
Or are you in
You
a
could tell
deficit?
he definitely
You
shows some
owe
nerves
more money
in
than
a
you make
in a moment
at the
here.
end of every week or every month.
Hey, that's
The
a
budget will be an
that's a good
eye-opening
computer there,
experience
Archangel.
for
You should be
because
happy
go,
for
wow,
a
I didn't
while.
realize I was spending XYZ on this. and then randomly a bill will pop up that you weren't expecting. You're young, so that might be like, oops, I forgot about my insurance that comes every 6 months. It's not due until September and it's May. Uh-oh. Well, when that pops up, you then add it to your budget. So the further out you go, the more you add to your budget, the more specific it gets. And from there, all the fun begins. Because once you have a surplus or extra money, you then begin creating goals and then saving and investing that money to really make your money work for you. And I'm assuming one day you want to be wealthy or...
Yeah, one day I do want to have like a decent amount of money so I can do, like, for an example, I play VR and I want to save up my money so I can purchase
all right.
a
I had to look at my notes.
gaming
It should
PC
make gaming
so I
extremely
can
easier. Oh, it
do
definitely will,
PC
man. It
VR
definitely
and
will.
also
When I upgraded
body
computers,
training.
it was a completely
I love
different
it.
experience,
Okay,
man.
so this is actually a really good specific first example. How much will all of that equipment cost you?
probably a couple 100,000 maybe.
A couple 100,000?
100 to 1,000 maybe.
Oh, a couple 100 to 1,000.
Yeah, depending on the checkers that I get
Okay.
and also depending on the PC.
Yeah, I think
Let's go higher.
insurance is
Let's just call it,
some of it's mandatory, but some of it is good.
$3,600. And I'm saying
You want to
this
get the
for a
right
reason.
insurance
If
policy
you know
for
it's
what's going on in your life.
$3,600 and you know you want to own it or you want to buy this stuff in a year, that means you know right now you need to be putting $300 per month away to get to $3,600. When you are thinking about these big purchases, they're not tomorrow or next week. You should be thinking out, this is a big thing I want to buy. How far out do I want to buy it? Once you figure that out, you then learn how much you need to put aside per month so you can pay for that.
So give me
thing
a more
cash.
specific question
You
too,
don't have to
Smith.
put it on a credit card. You won't owe interest. You won't go in debt. And if you keep saving that amount every month, be it to a slush fund or a specific fund for specific things, you'll know you have that money to blow. You won't have to sell investments. It won't hurt your ability to hit other financial goals, and that money will just be available for you.
All right.
Yeah. What questions you got?
For those who are watching the videos and the algorithm,
Life insurance.
what
Okay.
what advice could
So,
you give to the
talking about this while the video is going on might not be the best, and I apologize.
Hey, no worries, man. I appreciate you doing this.
algorithm? On, like,
for
for an
me,
example, like
Everybody should
your
start
average high school
with
teenager.
term life insurance. And
Yeah,
then
I hate to
figure
be
out
boring.
what
I'll add on, 'cause
bells
the budget,
and whistles
literally,
you want.
Literally, for every person walking here,
So
if you walked up to
term
any
life
person and say,
insurance,
hey, do you have a
for
detailed
every
budget?
dollar spent, gives you the most
They're going to
death
give you like the
benefit.
scare face. They don't do it.
There are
This should
obvious
start at your
downsides,
first
like
job.
it
When you're
doesn't
making
last your whole life,
$100
and after
a
that
week,
term, it's gone.
$200 a month, whatever it is.
But it's the
start with that
cheapest
budget.
way to get a
But
lot
then
of
the next thing
coverage
you need
for
to
a
be
specific
thinking
amount of
about is
time.
emergency funds.
If you want
and just the way you
more
think about
bells
your
and
money.
whistles than that,
What is this
then you can look
dollar
at
that you have
changing the
gonna
type
do
of
for you?
policy.
What do you want it to do for you? What actions are you taking to achieve that? Right? So like for you, if you want to buy a gaming computer to do all these things, you have this money that you need to save and put aside so you can make that purchase. Right? So it's so similar to what I said to you, but a budget is really the first thing. If somebody can spend less than they make, there we go, that's it. For every high school kid in the world, for the rest of your life, spend less than you make. That's it.
All
If you
right.
can spend less than you make for the rest of your life, you'll be in a pretty good spot. I think that's probably the best thing I could say to anybody.
Well, that's all the questions I have.
I appreciate you, brother.
Thank you very much.
I appreciate it.
I never get tired of these conversations because they can truly have a lifelong impact. The principles actually work. And unlike most other videos, you can absolutely try this at home and make a budget.
Try
Our
this
next
at home.
interviewee made my heart flutter. It was
Ooh,
hard to stay
my favorite
focused.
part of the video.
Sparks
My
were
favorite part of the video.
flying. But before we get to the first documented encounter of financial romance, you've got to hear this next conversation.
Financial
this gentleman
romance.
had great questions, and honestly, I wasn't expecting him to ask them in such a thoughtful way.
Yes,
Yeah,
we
what
did
sort
go
of,
over
thoughts
300 a
questions
month
you
for
I guess
the
my
computer.
first one is, what would you invest in?
I'm going to make a couple of assumptions. Your budget is spot on. You know where every dollar is coming in and how you're spending it. And you have a surplus, meaning you have extra money at the end of every month. You have an emergency fund taken care of. So 3, 6, 12, 24 months, whatever makes you comfortable. And then the first thing we have to go for investing is a goal. So what would you say this investing goal would be? Would it be for retirement? Would it be for a shorter term?
Probably buying a house.
Okay. This is a great question. I think this is fairly common for a lot of people. How long until you want to buy a house?
My beard is so much more trimmed up and neat
so
than
10
that.
years you run
Can you
into
tell?
a...
Look at that beard. Look at that beard.
An interesting
Look
time
at this
frame.
beard.
You can invest
I don't even know
in
if you can tell the
stock
difference.
because you have 10 years. But one thing you have to stomach is that it's going to go up and down. So if you're invested in stock and in
Have the
8
videos and
years
everything
we
you've been
see a
doing been successful?
downturn in the
I've been
market,
enjoying seeing them
but you
pop
needed
up.
that money for a down payment and now it's not there.
So
okay, well now I
it's
have
a
to wait.
slow grind.
So a lot of
Archangel.
people, when it comes
a slow
short
grind.
term, to actually invest in a money market or
So,
a high yield savings account or equivalent.
I'm gonna
so
say
that the money's
yes,
just there.
but
you
we
get the people who
understand
are
that this is
itching
going to
for a
take
little more
years
return,
to
and
build.
it's
And the
possible
videos we're putting
you'll
out
get
now
more
might not
by
receive most of
investing
their
in the stock
views
market.
until
But
down
it's
the
also
road.
possible that bad timing could
So,
happen
yes
and it
and
goes
no.
down, and then if you sell out, you've made it even worse.
Would you say gold is a good investment?
I think gold is a great investment for a certain type of person, right? It's absolutely killing it right now. This is May of 2025, and gold has just been... So it depends on why you're buying it. I think this is where almost any investment can be, you can make a case for, but you have to understand why. So is somebody owning gold because they want it to outpace the stock market? That might be difficult. Are they owning it as a inflation hedge? Okay, that could make sense, right? And it's sort of the same thing with Bitcoin. A lot of people are in Bitcoin, I think, for the wrong reasons, right? They want to get rich quick. I'm gonna buy some coin now, and I'm gonna be a millionaire next week. And you know, that's the fast money is.
But it has been
probably
exposing
gone,
me
in that.
to more
So
people, and that's
if
really
people
the name of the
understand
game
the
at this
reason they own
point.
gold
At some
or
point,
Bitcoin or
we'll
some
get enough
other
recognition
inflation
that
hedge,
you know,
then it
people
could be
will want to
good.
sign
It
up for
depends
the
on the person.
Patreon, and we'll get rolling.
So for
but
someone like me, like I like...
we just keep grinding. I'm really not
low risk,
expecting
I
anything
guess.
to really
Would
start
you say
popping
gold
until
is a
about
better
a year
option
from
than
now.
crypto in that case?
Okay.
Because we'll only be
For
doing the
risk
videos for like
purposes,
6
this
weeks.
is going to... I'm going to break this down into one simple thing. It's that gold is real.
If we
Right?
brought
Bitcoin is
gold
on a
10 years
blockchain.
back, it
Yeah,
could be
it
a
is
killing idea.
a holder of value.
Yeah,
right?
I mean,
have
even in the
spent
late
this
90s, I
much
believe
for
it was
this
200
piece
an
of
ounce.
Bitcoin blockchain. You can't hold it. You can't do anything with it. If the internet goes down, Bitcoin is gone, right? But if you have gold, you actually have the real metal. So for that one thing, I would say it is less risky. But there are other things you have to take into consideration. Like, I'm an optimist. I believe our system is going to be around for a long time, and that the system for Bitcoin will likely be there. So you just have to think about what's most important to you. And for some people, they're 100% okay that it's blockchain, internet. Or for some people, they're like, no, I need to hold something physical. Okay, gold. And they'll do probably similar things, although the upside on Bitcoin might be higher.
Gotcha. What do you think about like 401ks, like when I work a job? Is that a good thing to do, or?
Yes, I think 401ks is going to be getting a lot of hate.
Just to be clear,
because
I do
you can
think
make
Bitcoin has
case
a
for
much
IRAs
higher
being better.
upside
You
than
can make
gold.
a case for taxable accounts being better, but really what a 401k does is immediately it takes down your taxable income, which is a huge benefit for people, assuming you're doing pre-tax. Yeah. But it also sets it automatic. And I think that's probably the most important thing for almost everyone saving. We all have the intention of putting money aside, but do we really, right? And a 401k, since it's auto coming out of your paycheck, do it, especially do it up to, at minimum, your employer match. Okay? If your employer is going to give you 4%, make sure you're doing at least 4%. But overall for retirement, whether it's 401k, IRA, or a taxable account, which you should do
Your
all
opinion
three
on
because of their
tariffs.
tax implications, about 20%
I believe
per year.
they
you should be
are
good by the time you
necessary
reach retirement.
for
Awesome.
one
I guess
reason.
Another question for you. I have friends my age that are scared to like waste money. Like I like to travel.
They've been
I like
successful, but
I've
the
been
main
to
thing
London,
is
Paris,
a lot of countries
Amsterdam,
aren't
all those
open
awesome
to our
places, and
businesses.
they see how
So
much
that's
I pay
what
for it,
it
and
looks
they
like they're
start
trying to do
freaking
is
out.
open up those
So,
markets
do you think
to our
investing
businesses.
in yourself is also just as much important as investing money is to us?
Yes, absolutely. What's the point of making money if you're not going to utilize it? Now, at the same time, you shouldn't be spending money in a point that you're in crazy debt and you're in trouble, right? If you were like, look at all these trips I took and I'm 25,000 in debt, that would actually be make me uncomfortable as a financial advisor. But at the same time, if you knew like, hey, I'm going to take 2 trips a year, I'd like my friends to go with me. If we can all put aside $500 a month for the next 6 months, that's $3,000 that we can just pay cash towards this. And it's not coming out of savings. We're not having to sell investments. It's just ready to go specifically for this purpose. Dude, it makes that whole process that much more fun.
Oh,
Instead
yeah.
of putting it on a credit card and then paying it off when you can, you're just like, bam, I got the money and it's done.
Speaking of credit cards, is there any specific credit cards you recommend getting into, or?
Everyone's going to be different, right? Like some people really like cash back. Some people really like miles. I think it
Which
mostly
countries are
depends
worse?
on
I mean,
what
there
you
were
like.
quite a few.
I like cash back,
Uh,
even though my credit
like
card is miles.
China,
I
India,
haven't paid for a
like
flight
Indonesia, which
like
they just
6 or
signed a
7
deal
years.
with.
Wow.
They
Because
didn't
of-
allow us
now,
into
to be
their
fair,
markets.
COVID made it so I couldn't fly for like 3 years, so I just got to stack miles. But still, I haven't paid for a flight in
So how did you go by doing that? What card did
which
you end up
countries are the
getting?
worst to
and
live?
How did you?
This
I don't
was,
know, man.
Just by ignorant chance, it was.
I feel like there's
the
lots of great
Safeway
places
or,
to
I'm
live.
Sorry, the oh man, the airline. Oh man,
Like a Delta, Southwest.
there we go.
Okay.
It was just a Southwest card, and they were like, "Hey, we'll give you miles for every dollar you spend." I was like, "Yeah," but then I saw like Costco, they'll give you 4% cash back on some of your purchases. So, like, why not? If everything is kind of on discount. No, before we go any further on credit cards, the main thing is you should only put things on the credit card that you're going to pay off at the end of that month. A lot of people put it on a credit card and then it stays with them for years. So if you have a plan to pay it off at the end of that month, and that's even with that vacation, right? You put 3,000 on, but you got the cash sitting in the account to just boom, pay it off. And it feels so good.
Awesome. What do you think purchasing
This
a
guy was
vehicle,
so
like
good,
a
man.
brand
He
new
just had
vehicle, is a
questions
bad
and
investment,
questions.
or do you think it's a good investment?
So I'm not as dogmatic when it comes to these answers. Money-wise, it's a bad move, just straight up. It depreciates the second you walk off the lot, like 20+%, right? Like immediately. And there are other things, but there's something about the peace of mind that's your vehicle. No one put a mile on it. You know how it's been taken care of.
Exactly.
How much is that worth to you, right? Like, and I can't answer that question.
How much
for
is
you.
that worth to you?
Can answer
Such
for
an
me,
important
and,
question.
Right? It's different for every single person in the world. So, money-wise, you could probably make a better decision. But if you have budgeted for it, you game plan for it, it's not going to hurt your chances of reaching any other goals, and it's what you want. Yeah, why not? We save for it. It's a financial goal. Let's go do it. All right. So you just got to make sure it fits into your plans and won't hurt you in any way.
All right. I guess last question for you. If you could go back in time, what would you have done differently, knowing all the information that you have right now?
Okay, so this is it needs to have happened because I wouldn't be able to tell this story. So I have 2 of them. I have a credit card story and an investing story. What would you like to hear?
May I hear both of them?
Sure.
I love this
We'll go with
guy.
the credit card one because that was first. So right when I turned 18, I had a banking relationship with Wells Fargo. I went and got a credit card, and they gave me an $800 limit. That was awesome. Remember, I'm 18 for a few weeks, and I get this card. I love car stereos, so I went to Audio Express, and they found the perfect stereo for me, which just happened to be right under that $800 limit. So I maxed that credit card out. I did not end up paying that off until I was 22-ish because I got a real job. Like I got a real 40-hour per week job where I could finally pay it off. So going back, I would not have put that on the credit card. I would have saved up whatever it was, 50 a month or 100 a month for however long it took to pay for that stereo cash. So that's my first thing that I would caution everyone not to do. Just put what you're going to pay off at the end of the month on a credit card. This investing story, let me think of I'll even tell you the name of it, but I own something called the Precious Metals and Mining Fund at Vanguard. At its peak, it was $48 per share. It dropped all the way to $8.
Wow.
I'm like, I'm getting this on like 85% discount. Even if it only goes back to 50% of its all-time high, I'm gonna triple my money. Like, no doubt about it. Well, that's good logic, that's good thinking. But what really happened is that fund never started to turn around, and it got absorbed by another fund. And while I've been tracking it, that fund has hit about $12 a share. When if I had just invested that same money into the total stock market at the same time for retirement, I probably would have had a 250, 300% return. So that's another one. Thinking you know what's going to happen with the market, none of us know. Nobody has any idea. And anybody who tries to sell you that they do know, run fast.
Okay. All right, awesome. Well, thank you for your time. It was nice to meet you.
From buying a home to retirement savings, I feel like we covered a mini finance course just in this conversation. I feel like we had something important coming up. Oh yeah, my conversation with Free Advice Girl. Watch the sparks fly.
All right, thanks for sitting down, pretty lady. I know you got some questions here. What can I help you out with?
Yeah, so I'm pregnant with my 4th baby.
Okay.
Yeah, 3 other kids. I'm thinking about their future. What are some ways that I can save for them, whether that's college or something else?
Yeah, this is a great question. Loving parents want to take care of their kids.
Thanks
as
for
much
your
as
advice,
possible.
girl.
And if you happen to have the means for it, one of the most popular things people do is education savings for their kids.
Right.
So the most popular way to do that is through a 529 plan. A lot of them are through the state, but there are companies like Vanguard. You could do it from one state into another state, but there are also state-specific ones. But you could start saving money now, invest it, let it grow over their life, and then as long as it's used for education, you get to pull that money out tax-free and use it towards education. So that's the most popular one.
Clip
when
the
it
investing
comes to,
story. Let's go,
education
girl. Let's
savings.
go, girl.
If you just want to gift them money, I caution parents on the gift, because once they reach the age of maturity or majority, whatever it is for their state, it's their money. You have no control over it anymore. But it's called a uniform gift to minors or a uniform transfer to minors account. You can gift money to them, it grows, and then at the age of majority, it becomes their money. So you get to set them up how you want. But again, when they turn either 18 or 21, a lot of the time, they are in control of that money and can do whatever they want with it. I don't know how you were with money at 18 years old, but I wasn't the best. So
Yeah, probably not.
if you want to keep it from them, there are other ways to do that. But if you want them to own the money and be able to track the money, those are probably the 2 best things to do for your kids.
If I have multiple kids, do I create multiple accounts then?
It's a great question. Every kid or every social security number can create an account.
Every social, baby.
For
What do you think, Smith?
that
What's
child.
the worst
So as long as they
countries
have
to
a
live
social
in?
security number, you can create it, but you wouldn't be able to create an account for this
I imagine
beautiful
North
baby
Korea is not fun.
because they haven't been born and they don't have a social security number yet.
Yeah, that's true. What about like the amount that I would put away? Like, is there a specific amount I should have set by the time they're 18, or when do I start? Do I start when they're first born? Do I wait until
What a great
I know they're
question.
going to be college bound?
She's
or
so
something?
pretty
I don't
and she's
know.
got
It's a
great
question.
questions.
If you know they're going to be college bound, it's probably too late to start saving. So you want to get started as early as possible. You can technically save in an
Can't
account
believe
in
this
your
woman had
name,
kids with me.
for that kid in the
I'm
future.
blessed.
But you should start as early as possible. The most important factor to your investment returns is time in the market.
Yeah.
So the longer you wait, the less returns you get. So the day you have a social security number, create it. Some places let you create an account without the social, pending you're getting the social.
Yeah.
But once you have the social, nothing's going to stop you. You can start creating accounts for your kids.
So I can put as much away for the kid as long as I can afford it.
This is a roundabout
No,
answer.
I
I,
mean,
don't like
there
how
are
I
gifting
answered
limits.
this.
Okay.
So that changes every year. So you're going to want to look that up every year, what the gifting limit is. They will let you do 5 years worth of gifts at one time as one contribution into a 529.
Wow.
If you want to do that. Some people like just knocking it out.
Okay.
But if you don't care about the gifting amount, it does go against your lifetime gift exemptions, but you can gift as much as you want.
Okay. Cool.
All right. I appreciate your time, pretty lady.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right. That was fun. I loved it. I loved
In
it.
short, these are some of the things you can do.
Ooh,
for
look at
a
that
growing
pregnant
family.
belly. That baby's
It's not
doing
even all
4
of it.
days,
You want to
everybody.
customize
4
this for
days.
You don't want to miss our next friend if you ever want to own a house. He asked a solid question, and I hope the answer helps you too.
I got into Free Advice Guy because there's like no education for people.
Right.
And when you actually get to the specifics of like advice, it's really hard for people to find advice, especially for that they can afford, or I'm really trying to reach people earlier in their life. That's really what I'm trying to do, is reach the 16-year-old, the 18-year-old, the 22-year-old, the 25-year-old, because I didn't start caring about finance until I was like 27, 28.
Yeah.
And I felt like I was pretty early to the game, right? And a lot of these kids are so much later. So that's why I really got into Free Advice Guys, to just
It's really cool.
help you, and by helping you, help out everybody.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah. Okay, so you had a question about, was it buying a house or?
Yeah, so right now, I believe I'm like 2 months in, but it's a 14-month lease in my apartment, townhome. I'm trying to find the best way to, I guess, afford a home right now in this market.
Yeah.
Considering, I don't know, I'm guessing the bond market's not doing so well right now, is it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that it's worth putting it in the bond market compared to its returns to like a money market. Money markets are
Right.
fairly similar with zero volatility.
Yeah.
So it's kind of personal preference. You could probably still find better returns on bonds, but you might be dealing with more volatility depending on what interest rates do and just in general.
Yeah, so I'm just having a lack of confidence in this, what we call
This is
housing
very
market
common.
right now.
Lack
I'm
of
looking at
confidence.
these prices for these homes, and they're like really, really
Oh yeah.
low.
You think housing prices are low right now?
I'm sorry, the inventory
Yes.
might be a little too like low right now. I think
That's what's driving prices or keeping prices high. Or one of the things keeping prices high is less inventory.
yeah, locally like speaking, I feel like. And
Yes.
I don't know.
It's happening in a lot of places all over the country. We are one of the markets that's happening in big time here in Arizona.
Right. So I guess my question would be is, in this kind of weird time of
Yep.
high home prices, what's my best like investment to really park my money, let it grow, or even what are the best practices
Yeah.
when looking at that?
Would it be okay to actually address the home buying thing first?
Yeah,
Just
sure,
overall.
yeah.
Okay, so it's very common right now to hear elevated prices. I feel like I'm buying at the top. I want to wait till prices come down, which are all very normal human psychology. I'd like to buy whatever I'm going to buy for less.
Yeah.
Makes sense. I would caution people, anybody, look at your home not as a financial decision. Yes, in the long run, you want it to make financial sense, but your home should be like a 30-year decision,
Right.
not like a 5-year, 4-year decision, right? And a lot of people are comparing rents to mortgages. So like maybe your rent is $1,400 and your mortgage would be $1,700. For a lot of people, that's a no-brainer. I'm gonna go rent. I'm saving $300 a month,
Right.
which might be true for the next year, 2 years, but what about when they increase rents?
Yeah.
Okay, well now you have to eat that. You're paying for that, right? Whereas when you buy your home, if you know you're gonna be there in 30 years, I make no guarantees, but I would bet my life that the house you buy today, no matter what happens in the nearish future, will be much higher in the future than where it is today. So when you're buying a home, that's how I would think about it. Is this the home you wanna spend the next 10 years in? That's a different idea than just financially or whatever. Like now you're actually talking about a life decision that'll bring you security and stability. I know my payment is not going to change when I own this home. Your rent could change anytime or any year or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Up to I think like 20%. Whereas a mortgage, because you're locked in at a certain dollar amount per month, it becomes worth less because of inflation. Yeah, it's $1,600, but $1,600 is worth more today than it'll be worth in 2 years.
Time value of money.
5 years, time value of money. My man, my guy's a finance major here, a finance professional. So the time value of money is greatly important, and not enough people take that into consideration, or even just the stress of having to, am I gonna get kicked out next year?
Right.
Am I gonna get to continue the lease, right? There's more to house buying than that. All right, that was really long-winded, I apologize, because your question was how to invest. Investing for a house, I'll give you my direct answer, is generally a money market or a high yield savings account.
All right.
You will find wild men who have no fear, who know in the long run the stock market is likely to return more. But with that, they got to deal with the volatility.
Yeah.
So you might want to buy a house in 6 years. But 4 years from now, we see a stock market tank. Well, now that money's not there, you got to wait for it to recover. And then the money will hopefully be there, but probably not when you need it, right? So as you get closer to when you actually need the money, you get more and more into cash. But you will see wild men who invest in actual investments that move up and down a lot, and it adds a lot of unnecessary stress.
Right.
But they want it for the potential more return.
So the best thing to do is probably
yeah.
just keep it in a managed account. Like
Money market, I don't know about managed because they'll probably charge you, but like a money market or a high yield savings account, right?
Right.
You should be getting at least 3% right now currently on those types of accounts. Some are still paying over 4%. I saw somebody the other day was advertising a high yield savings account at 4.75, which is kind of nuts for a high yield savings account right now.
that is kind of nuts, yeah.
Yeah, but there's just options out there so that your cash can still earn something, even though it's not going to be like high returns potentially like the stock market.
Is that something you keep, because I'm not familiar with how the vehicles actually operate. You can keep investing into that.
Yep, that's what I recommend you do.
Okay.
Yeah, so figure out what day you want to buy your home. Say it's 2020, 2030. 5 years from now, you want to have 36,000. Okay, that's bad math. So hold on, I'm trying to make this easy to digest because that would be 18,000. So you want 36,000 down in 3 years.
Right.
That's essentially 1,000 a month over the next 3 years that you need to be putting aside. I know that's not down payment money. This is just for the math of it. Unless you get a 3% down, but that's a different conversation. But you want to begin saving the amount into the money market or into the high yield savings account immediately, so that money can start earning for you. So that when you get there, you'll actually have more than the 36,000 or whatever that dollar figure is. But figure out the amount, divide it by the month. That's how much you need to save every month to get to your down payment amount on that date. That's how I would go about it.
Okay.
You keep throwing more and more money at it every month, and if you have extra, do it.
Yeah. My initial plan was like trying to do the retail investing. I don't know how that's gonna, like, I've tried it before, it didn't really work out. I mean, I got it.
Like as you're living,
What was that?
like to make a living?
No, for just the investment, just for the initial capital of purchasing a home, right? Cash down payment. I mean, it worked enough to pay down all my student loans.
Yeah.
But I don't think I can see it like actually getting me enough money for a home.
So this is actually a good point, right? 4 weeks ago, when I think we're about 4 weeks ago, early April of 2025, we saw the market tank.
Yeah.
Imagine that's the day, right? Your stuff is due April 6th. Market's tanked on April 4th, and now April 6th, you need that money to pay down your loans. That's when it was due. You're like, I don't have it, right? That's where you run into a problem. If you have a long enough time frame to wait, that's where people kind of get the confidence. I don't care when, I just know in the future, this will likely be worth more than a money market would be.
Right.
So I'm sticking in the stock market because I can wait for it to recover. But that's not how most people operate. They see their house money going down and they're going to stress out a lot.
I guess, yeah, the stress is unneeded, so
Yeah.
definitely a better vehicle for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know yet, but I'm working on getting an account open.
I dig it, man. You're asking all the right questions. You're still a young man. Again, I didn't take any of this stuff serious until I was like 27. And even then, it wasn't like serious. I started taking it like really serious in my 30s. And I still feel like I was earlier than most people. Most people don't really get into it. It's like something smacks them in the face. That's why they get serious about it. Like, whoa, how am I $20,000 in debt?
Right.
They're like, whoa, like how'd I do this? That's when they start looking for help. I want to get these kids on their first job. Start thinking about money and how your money can work.
No
for
credit
you
cards, baby.
right when they get money.
Yeah. I think that's probably what happened to me. I had that sudden realization about like 3 years ago. I was almost $20,000 in debt. I had about like 10 grand in credit card debt too.
And you're almost done.
No, I have like $400, $500 left in credit card debt. That's just me spending money just because we just moved. So,
Yeah.
But other than that, no, I'm debt free for the most part.
That's a success story, man. I hope you're proud of that.
Yeah, no, I definitely am.
I love that. So did you use, if you know, the avalanche method or the snowball method to pay
Actually,
it
no,
off?
I use avalanche. Which one's the mathematically optimized one?
Avalanche.
I avalanched it.
Okay, the avalanche method, you'll pay the least amount of interest over time.
Yeah.
The snowball method is really good for people who like,
psychologically speaking. Yeah, I've read like 6 different books on it.
Yeah.
I'm so familiar.
It makes a lot of sense for, like, I would imagine my mom the snowball method would have made sense for my mom, but my brain, I'm like, wait, I'm paying how much more interest because I'm doing this?
Right.
No. Give me out as fast as possible.
I want to be out of it. Exactly.
Yeah, man, I appreciate everything so far, but any other thoughts or questions you want to go over?
No, just gave me a new vehicle to look at.
I love it, man. And hey, if I could ask you to do anything, if you run into anybody in the world who needs help, I'm like a legit
Anybody in the world,
credentialed
baby.
financial advisor, just let them know I'm here. I'm free, I have no classes, I have no strings attached. I just want to help people.
Sounds great, yeah.
Cool, man. I appreciate you so much.
Of course.
Thank you so much for your time.
Of course.
Guys, this event was seriously amazing.
This event was awesome.
We're trying to get into one later this year, but we'll see. Thank you for watching. We'll
The
see
N
you
is
for the next
missing.
one.
What a video. What a day. Oh, we got a comment. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. That's not what I wanted to do. I do not see a comment. Free advice, girl. Free advice, girl. Love you, girl. Okay, let me do this real quick. And then we do this. In case anybody was wondering what we do here. Whoo! What, you found more, girl? You found more? Hey, girl. We got plenty to go. Is it fire, girl? Is it fire? Let me know if I need to do that again, girl. Is that what you want me to do? Man, I think the normal latency delays this quite a bit. I think I gotta go back to low latency. Is this Boo? I don't like the delay. All right, it's good to know. ATL Comic Con. That looks pretty cool. Be right back. Give me one sec here. Yeah, we gotta wait for commentary until the market closes, girl. How do you advise people when they are managing multiple goals, like paying down debt, saving for retirement, and building an emergency fund? Well, you have to prioritize your goals. So I could come up with an answer for that for somebody, but really they need to make the decision for themselves. So if paying down debt is your number one priority, that's where you put your extra money. If saving for retirement is your number one priority, you put more towards retirement or an emergency fund. But for me, my personal preference would be to look down paying down debt and building an emergency fund. And then you save for your other big goals like retirement when you have the peace of mind that your finances are where they should be. Saying they want to do those things. We may have talked about this before, but Ramsey is very much a no investing until debt is paid off person, I think. Yeah, and logically it makes a lot of sense. But there's also the emotional side of it, and people are going to struggle with what they're doing if they don't fully believe it. So if they want to be able to save for different goals while also paying down debt, you just have to create a plan for that. Another 40 minutes. Yo, what's up, Yuli? How's it going? We're shooting another video tonight, Yuli. We're going to do a man on the streets video tonight. It should be fun. I just think about those people who spend so much money paying down debt, they don't start saving for retirement until their 30s. How can they make up for that? Well, it's not really a make-up when you start saving more in your 30s. That's actually a natural progression. Most of the investing you're doing in the early part of your life is to build habits and to establish a base. But you're going to do more of your investing in your 30s anyway, because that's when you make more money. You make generally significantly more money at 30 and 35 than you do at 20 and 25. So it's not necessarily that you make up for it, but you give yourself peace of mind and freedom moving forward. So come on, baby, spice up your life. So it's not necessarily a bad thing to not start to invest in your 20s because you'll be investing larger amounts in your 30s. That's probably too specific or too direct. You do want to start as early as possible. There's no doubt about it. You want to invest as early as possible, but you can pay off debt while also investing. It's just all about your priorities. So this is where a conversation with somebody specifically makes a huge difference because I can know specifically what you care about and what's important to you. About to get my first car at 25. Hey, congrats, man. How did you save for it, J-Rock? I always struggle with these scenarios when I was an advisor. Nah, I mean, these are great questions for your advice, girl. There's just no specific answer. Every person has to decide what is your most important things. What's going on? Yeah, sorry, J Rock there. Um, so we just did our world premiere of the new YouTube video, and we watched that. Excited about that one. And then big news is tonight we're shooting the next video. We're doing another Man on the Streets in Scottsdale, Old Town, Arizona. I might go ahead and end the stream now. All right, I think we're going to go ahead and call this now. I will likely be back tonight live streaming as we record the video. I hope it goes well, but I got to get mentally prepped, physically prepped, and all that sort of stuff before the video tonight. So